The average person over the course of their lifetime works 80,000 hours. That might look like 40 hours a week for 48 weeks a year for over 40 years of your life. At an individual level, that is one of the biggest factors in human happiness. But a study run by Gallup last year with over 100,000 employers found that 60% of people feel emotionally detached at work, and 1 in 5 people feel miserable. Now, hating work is such a bizarrely common theme in our pop culture, right? And unless you think that all jobs suck, clearly there's something a little bit broken about how we decide what work to do. So where does the problem start? My hypothesis? Most people don't try enough jobs to know what they really like. In a study run by Indeed, 88% of people who switch careers feel happier after making the move. So perhaps the secret to finding your dream career isn't following your passion, but experimenting, right? To work out what sorts of problems, what sorts of environments, what goals, and what skills resonate most with you. My name is Dan. I run a school and community helping thousands of young people find their dream careers in tech. Here are the 5 most important lessons I've learned in experimenting to design my dream career. Lesson number 1. Work-related experience is as important as work experience. I want you to raise a hand if you've ever seen an entry-level job asking for multiple years of experience. That's a lot of hands. Whoa. Hang on, so you need an experience to get a job, but you need a job to get experience. What's going on here? We need to break through this barrier by actually rethinking what experience we consider relevant. And when you take a look at some of the most desired skills that employers look for in junior roles, you'll see things like sales, marketing, events, project management, writing, speaking. And the funny thing is, these skills are things you can build outside of work. You think about leadership roles, extracurriculars, volunteering, and side projects, and all of these can be as important as work experience when you're interviewing. Forget unpaid internships where you're giving away value without being fairly rewarded. Instead, build work-relevant experience doing the things you already love. For me, doing things like Model UN and business case competitions, running a social soccer club, even starting a Reddit community had a huge impact on my ability to land my first few jobs. So if you're struggling to find that first job, start testing work-relevant skills with different hobbies and see what resonates with you. From there, we move on to the job search journey. Lesson number 2 is don't wait for a job listing. Make the job listing. One of the biggest misconceptions I see young people make when it comes to their career is only applying for jobs that have a job listing. When you look at job boards, they are the tip of the iceberg of potential jobs that are out there for you. And here's the thing. Fast-growing companies will often have needs that aren't being met, and they're growing so quickly that they haven't even thought about putting up a job listing yet. So what can you do about that? Reach out to them and create your own job opportunity. Whether that's LinkedIn, email, social media, you have a chance to pitch yourself. And when it comes to doing that, remember the 3 W's: who you are, why you're reaching out, and what's in it for them. I had 4 different internships over uni that I kind of stumbled into without really having a proper job listing. I'm going to walk through an example of what that can look like. I saw a Facebook ad in my second year of university for an app that helped you order and pay for foods while at the restaurant. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. So I started sharing it with my friends. I shared it with my university discussion group. And then I thought, hang on a minute, what if I reach out to the person running this company? So I messaged them on LinkedIn, and I asked for an internship. Fast forward about a week, and we were at a Westfield food court, probably not the most conventional interview format, but somehow ended up in a paid marketing internship for 6 months as a result of that. So if you want to have the best chance at experimenting with different careers, create your own job opportunities. Now, lesson number 3 is then studying different jobs like you study different subjects, right? I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do when I was starting out in uni. So I tried a bunch of different jobs, sales, marketing, project management, product management, design, consulting. I didn't even know what half of these things meant when I was starting out uni. But the funny thing is, every single one of those jobs has taught me skills that I'm now using in my role today. The beautiful thing is that testing jobs allows you to work out what you like and what you don't like, which is equally important, right? That might be the industry you're working in. It might be the culture of the company size, maybe the skills you're using. For me, this industry learning was way more useful than the theoretical learning I was getting at university. I was building practical skills, owning my own projects, and putting things into the hands of real people. So I realized for me that sometimes work is actually the best form of school. So if you're sitting there and you feel like traditional education isn't the right fit for you, that's totally normal, right? You have a chance to test out different careers like you test out different subjects. But how do you ensure that you can get those opportunities and stand out? Lesson number 4 is that content creation increases career luck. Now, finding a job as a young person is freaking tough these days. But it's not what you know, nor is it who you know. It's who knows you and what they know you for. I believe creating an audience is the single biggest thing you can do to give yourself a career advantage. And by having an audience and putting out content, you'll get exposed to more career opportunities to experiment and help you along the way. Now, when I was in university, I was not a big social media person. I literally did not know how to do an Instagram story. But I started a newsletter to help just 10 friends find jobs in tech more easily, because I saw they were struggling with it and I thought I could help. Little by little, that newsletter helped me meet my co-founders, get my first customers, and make lifelong friends along the way. When you create content about the things you care about, other people who care about those things will find you. And you don't need to be a top 1% expert. Everyone has something to say. That is super, super important. Chances are, each one of you has a niche hobby or a niche interest that you know a little bit more about than most of your mates. So start sharing what you're learning today, and you will expose yourself to career opportunities you never otherwise thought you would have had. Sometimes that can even mean starting a company. And my final lesson is that when companies start, they don't look like companies. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are curious maybe about starting your own business one day. I know, sitting in your shoes, I was. But it's tricky to work out how do you even get this thing off the ground, right? The thing is, you don't need a decade of work experience to get started. I was kind of 1 year out of university. I was a graduate at a tech company. And for me, I just decided that was the right time to go all in on my side project. But like finding the right job, finding the right business takes time. I had a huge amount of imposter syndrome when I started my little newsletter, but little by little, that side project turned into a real business. My newsletter helped me launch an online community. That online community then helped me launch multiple hiring services for companies. And those hiring services now help me launch a school to help people land their first jobs in tech. So when starting a business, find a problem that pisses you off, think about the simplest solution, and just start experimenting from there. Now, it can be overwhelming to work out all this dream career stuff, right? But you don't need the answers on day one. Start learning what you like, start learning what you don't like, and then maybe try something different that you think you might like a little bit more. And the thing is, everyone's career experiment is going to look different. You might really value social impact, financial success, learning, work-life balance, culture, but that doesn't mean your friends are going to value the exact same things. So don't worry too much about what your peers are testing and focus on the right test for you. You won't find your dream career overnight, but you've got 80,000 hours to work it out. And the sooner you start trying new things, the closer you'll get to your dream career. Thank you for listening.